Hi, I'm here. This is Chris Appel again talking about attachment disorder. And this is about attachment disorder in the schools and why what we do doesn't work. And I have some suggestions. Um, Here's a quote first. If kids come to us from strong, healthy, functioning families, it makes our job easier. If they do not come to us from strong, healthy, functioning families, it makes our job more important. Um, I had a couple slides here I wanted to share about things we can do to work with these kids in the school setting. Um, so one of them is to use love and logic philosophy, which was uh, started by Foster Cline. It's really about logical consequences, taking the emotion out of the situation, not getting, involved in a debate. It's if you do this, then this is going to happen. It's a logical consequence. Um, Number two is recognize who has the control. You always have the control if it's a child and you're the adult and you're a functioning adult. Um, and they may think they have, and you can always take it back. I've had families, and I've said to families, parents, that they, even though it may feel like the child could win the battle, you can still win the war. You can say, well, I'm sorry you chose to do that last night and not do your homework. So here's what your consequence is going to be. So like last night they didn't do their homework and they played video games, which may be the winning the battle part, but then today it's a new day and you can come up with a new consequence. Um, Another option is offer choices in order to share control. Give them some choices. I do with some of the more severe kids. I give them two quick choices and they have to decide within a very short time, and if they don't, then I choose for them. I've done this at school with a number of kids where you can do this or this, and then if they don't choose within just a few seconds, then I choose for them. And usually they don't like that, but then the next time they might think again about prolonging. And again, a lot of kids this isn't an issue, but then there are kids that need to be in control or want to be in control, and it is an issue then because they're going to manipulate. Is the problem the educator's problem or the child's problem? What's really going on in the classroom? Set limits with the child, and some kids need more limits than other kids, obviously. A healthy, attached child is going to be able to make better choices, and they're going to maybe push the envelope a little bit, but they're going to know when they've gone too far. You can design appropriate consequences for a child, and I know this is difficult. One of the most difficult issues is getting something that they care about, because they usually often don't care about a lot of consequences. You can take things away from them and they don't care. You can send them to their room and they're like, oh well, as a teacher, a low grade doesn't bother them. So finding things that they will work for or will be motivated by is difficult, and it has to be worked on. And another thing that has to happen is it needs to change all the time, because intelligent attachment disorder kids will figure out a system quickly and then try to manipulate it and it won't work anymore, such as behavior charts, things like that. Material gains have little value for these children. They're not motivated by them. So again, what is one thing that they are motivated by? Sometimes there are things, and you have to work with, if it's an adoptive parent. If it's a biological parent, it's going to be harder to work with them. You'll just have to find things in school. Taking away recess and things like that is usually not an option. Avoid punishment. They don't care if they miss recess. Use consequences. You didn't finish math, so now you get to complete math during computer time. A tightly structured and loving environment. Rules do not change, but consequences do. So that's a really important line. The rules do not change, but the consequences can change. That way the child is surprised too, and they have less control. They're not able to manipulate as well because they don't know what you're going to do next. Avoid unconditional negatives and positives. You're great.